Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the Blockchain Chronicles. My name is Jude Newcomb. I am the social media director for Metrics Coin. Today, I'm very excited. We have the founder and creator of a crypto hardware wallet. The name of the brand is AerCrypt, and I'm pleased to introduce Squidicuz to the show. We're going to talk about his journey through crypto and a little bit about AerCrypt and just have a good conversation. So Squid, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great. I'm glad that you agreed to do this. I'm looking forward to a good conversation. And I think the first thing that I want to know is, how did you come up with your online handle?
The name or the image?
Let's
Or
do
both.
both. Yeah.
The name actually, so people actually call me Squid in real life, believe it or
Ah,
not. And I had that nickname since, I guess, grade school. Not sure exactly where it came from, other than this show that used to be on Nickelodeon called Rocket Power.
no.
That the image is from a show. There was also a Nickelodeon called Invader Zim, and it's the robot disguised as a dog with like a dog suit on. And yeah, the robot's pretty hilarious and little derp.
Gotcha. So you don't even know why people started calling you Squid.
Nope. Just kind of happened that it just kind of stuck, and everywhere I go, I just use it as my handle. So
I wish I had a nickname like that. I don't, but that's good. That's good. So uh welcome to the show, like I said. And I guess one of the first things that I usually ask people is, do you remember kind of the first introduction that you had to cryptocurrency? Do you remember like where you were, or if you paid it much attention, or did you jump right in right away?
I pretty much like didn't pay much attention and then just sort of jumped right in. But I first heard about it from a friend of mine. We were playing Minecraft like many years ago, probably around I don't know, whenever Minecraft was like in alpha beta stage. That was probably around like 2010, 2011 or so, like that. Basically, it was right around Bitcoin was like just this new thing, and it was just going around the internet at the time.
Yeah,
I
it's
heard about it.
super early.
Yeah, I started picking up on it a little bit and eventually started mining for a while. And yeah,
What was it about it that drew your attention, or I guess attracted you to it?
I was always into like technology, and it was really fascinating, just the idea of sort of like a digital scarcity where
Hmm.
like, because I know like you just like, I was always in the BitTorrent, and like with BitTorrent, it's just a peer-to-peer network. And then like Bitcoin comes along, but not only can you not just clone these digital items, but like they're scarce, but they're shared in a network that's similar to BitTorrent.
Hmm.
Or at the time, is how I was thinking.
Right. And then so you started like your own mining rigs?
I was like CPU and GPU mining for a while.
I guess
Turned
back
out a
then back
laptop.
then it back then it was easier to do that, right?
Yeah, back then you could use a GPU to mine, and then after that it was FPGAs came out, and then pretty much ASICs. And once the ASICs came out, like the chart for the mining power just went parabolic. It was pretty crazy.
Hmm. Wow. Yeah, so I guess you go along for what, a few years to getting involved with the inner workings of Bitcoin and mining it. And
Yeah,
was that also like part of your background? Like were you working in technology back then, or was it just more of like a hobby?
it was a bit of both. I was always like into technology and things. So I ended up working in the tech sector like after high school. Just went right into like working at a factory.
Hmm.
So I was pretty much doing that and just playing Minecraft. And that's when, messing with computers. I eventually collected a server rack uh, that I've been dragging along with me everywhere I move and stuff. But I filled that with like ASICs and things and just computers, and it was just, yeah.
Nice. So do you remember like what was one of your first kind of crypto jobs that you had? You know, maybe because you do like a lot of you
Like
did or did
subcontracting stuff.
yeah, subcontract work and stuff like that. Do you remember like what was kind of one of your first jobs?
Um, I guess that was probably more recently that started really coming along, but I think
Oh,
that was like several years ago at this point. But it was more making the Discord bots and things like that. Like the metrics bot that we're using now originally is like what sort of got me into like the crypto contracting world. 'Cause before that, I was just really running miners, but eventually came to the point where like it was just too much electricity for me to run miners because
right.
the power bill spiked and the difficulty keeps going up. It's a lot of work to maintain with the network because the difficulty changes, hardware burns out real quick.
So
Yeah.
you kind of don't really do that kind of mining anymore.
Nah. Anything that I have left is just off and collecting dust.
Well, hopefully it served its purpose.
It did. It was fun. There's some of it stuff, some of it, like you talk about crypto scams now, like back then, like you get scammed on hardware really easily.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah, I didn't know that.
I pretty much like put in like money to a crowd fund for like mining hardware and then didn't see the hardware for like a year and came to find out later that the company was mining with the hardware for that said year.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah. So it's like I got it. It's like covered in dust. And it's like, wow, this is worthless now. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, yeah, that's not how that's supposed to work.
Yeah, it was pretty bummed out about that one.
Yeah, no, I should tell people you kind of hinted at it a little bit that you are involved with the Metrics Coin project, which is the project that I'm the social media director for. Um, Before you got involved with Metrics, what were some of the projects that you were involved with?
Some of them I prefer not to say entirely, but I
Sure.
mean, I was mostly messing with like just other crypto projects like Ohmcoin, like Social Send, and like messing
Mhm.
with setting up like systems and things for that, and just trying to support the communities around them and such.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like hopping along in the background, working on code.
Right, right. Yeah. And then ultimately like you started helping out with the metrics team. Do you remember how did that kind of come about?
It's kind of a funny story too, because I really didn't know much about, I guess, metrics at the time. But like I was working on Social Send, and somebody pointed out the metrics white paper, and I realized that hey, you guys, there's a Social Send was mentioned in the metrics white paper,
Yes.
and then sort of like one thing led to another. We started talking, and then I just ended up getting more involved with that, and found a good place to work around here.
We're definitely glad to have you. You and your partner in crime, Sexy, you have brought a lot to the table, and we're very appreciative of it. And one of the things that I would love to talk about, one of the reasons why you're here is, not only are you creating metrics, bots for Discord and helping with, the various programs that we have and
Mhm.
applications that we have that we're building, but you're creating your own developments on the side as well. And when I say on the side, I don't mean an effort. Like it's a massive effort that you're undertaking with your side project. But do you want
Right.
to do you want to tell people about it a little bit, like what it is?
Yeah, it's the AerCrypt. It's pretty much I base at a hardware wallet and a gaming device, and we're trying to sort of combine the two to support NFT gaming and some other gaming that's based around blockchain, but at the same time support like standard wallet functions. Like you'd be able to send and receive cryptocurrency to it, and you're able to send and receive NFTs to it as well, and then use those NFTs on it for like games or so. It's pretty much like the base of what we're trying to accomplish with that. It spawned off of just sort of an idea from Pyro Pets. I don't know if you recall, there's Tamagotchi things from like the 90s.
Yeah.
There's little digital pets or so that, yeah. So it was sort of an idea like, oh, maybe we can make like literally a Tamagotchi of that. Then, one thing led to another. We sort of made a full on device that's a little more involved than just something you throw in your pocket that just beeps at you.
Yeah, like just for people that, I'm going to put pictures on the screen, but this also goes on Spotify. So maybe describe the device a little bit, like maybe its dimensions and the screen and stuff like that.
So the screen size is 2 by 4 inches. It's like 320 by 240 pixels, and it's a handheld device. So it wouldn't exactly fit in your pocket, but I mean, I have one in my hand right now. It's got like 2 joysticks on it, and there's a full-on like QWERTY keyboard that you can use with your thumbs. And then there'd be speakers with and then the screen and keyboard are in the middle, in between like 2 joysticks or so.
It's really cool. I would say, like, outside of the screen size, it's what, probably like,
Oh yeah, it's like
five inches.
like 4.5 by, say, like 3.5 inches or so.
Yeah,
Maybe a little bit bigger than that.
It's really cool. Do you remember like where you were when you thought of this, or what sparked your inspiration for it?
I was sitting right where I am now, actually, but
Good spot. You should stay there.
Yeah, Sexy and I were just discussing stuff about pyro pets and like sort of ideas, and I was like planning some hardware stuff because I'm just always like tinkering with hardware things, and I had some designs around from some other stuff that was similar because I've sort of been working on bits and pieces of this for the past couple of years, and just like, why don't we just do this? I threw most of it together, and yeah, now this exists.
It's really cool. And one of the ways that you went about funding this project, because nothing is free, is
Right.
You put together a crowdfunding campaign which ran for, I think, 30 days.
30 days, yes.
And
30 days.
And what was basically the donation process was like $200 got you a kind of a AerCrypt in the mail.
Right. Yeah. Basically, it was a crowdfunding campaign that was on the Metrics blockchain, used a smart contract, and there was a website that interacted with the contracts where users wanted to contribute, would be able to essentially buy a ticket that then later they would be able to redeem for an actual device that would ship.
Yeah.
And it was entirely on the blockchain and done with the blockchain. At the end, like, if the campaign wouldn't have succeeded, everyone who contributed would have been able to withdraw their funds and get them back. But since it did succeed, then since I set it up, I was able to withdraw the funds to my account, which are now off the side staking.
It was a really great way to do that. And looking back on it, is smart as well, because there's sites like Kickstarter and
Right.
I'm sure there's a bunch of other ones that once you succeed in a crowdfunding campaign, they get a percentage of the amount of funds that were raised. But when you do it in this way and have the technical know-how like you do to create a site that will allow for a smart contract like this to exist, it does benefit you, and also the person or people that are purchasing the item, because you don't have to worry about that extra cut going out to an intermediary source that's going to take from that overall pot. So you don't need to even ask for more than what you actually need. You ask for what you needed, and it's sold out. You got what you wanted before the deadline.
Right. Yeah, it went really well.
Yeah, I mean, it went like a lot of crowdfunding campaigns do, right up until the last kind of day. But
Yeah.
you crossed the finish line for sure.
Right. Yeah. It seemed everyone wanted to wait to the last second. And then we were having some issues at the end with the confirmations and the chain. They kept on like rejecting the contracts or something for some odd reason. But yeah, we ended up getting them through.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. I'm sure a little bit of sweat never hurt anybody, but it probably could have gone a little bit better if you had a perfect world.
Yeah, exactly.
So the crowdfunding campaign goes through. It's great. People order, you reach your threshold. Nobody's returned their money through smart contracts. Then what happens after that?
Well, we've been working on development. Mostly, I've been working on the hardware portion of it still, but I just finalized ordering of the boards for the third revision of this, actually, because the two previous I ordered, while they did work, and the last one did work pretty well, I decided to change something to make some things easier later, which required me to essentially redo all of the like layout of the parts on the board and everything and such. So it's a little bit of a delay, but I think this will be better in the long run.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I think a lot of people would have to trust you on that one to make the best decisions possible for what the device can be and what it will be.
Right, yeah, we were posting updates and such in the Discord and keeping everyone like up to date with developments and things. And but right now I'm just in a holding pattern waiting for hardware. And then once I get this, it's a matter of assembling it, and then I ship it out to the rest of the developers who are going to work on all the software for it.
And how many other developers are there?
There are uh I guess there's three of us, or there's four of us, including me, and Sexy. So there's three other developers aside from myself
That's
working on this.
that's pretty big, pretty big team for this project, right? Especially, I mean, I'm guessing that it will, because, or you do need a
Yeah,
team that big, because there's a lot going on in this device.
right. There's a lot of software that needs to be ironed out and written is
Mhm.
the thing. And then not only that, the software needs to make the hardware work.
Right,
So it's a little multi-step process and complicated.
right,
Yeah,
right.
so we need a big team.
Yeah, no, and so you're waiting for hardware to get back, and then you send it out to different developers that are working with you. What kind of ETA would you say for a finished product?
I think we said 6 months from January was probably the longest we really wanted it to go. So hopefully, I'd say mid to late spring, we might have something together.
That's
But
amazing.
I mean,
I'm not, I'm not,
could
I'm
be the
not holding.
summer.
Yeah, I'm not holding you to anything. I'm just curious.
It's really a matter of we got to figure out exact ETA and put out a roadmap still. I've been wanting to put out a roadmap, but have not gotten to that yet.
Right,
We should have that out probably in the next week or two, though.
right,
And on there, I will try and get some ETAs for a plan for a time frame.
right. And I don't know. I'm just thinking about like hardware devices that fit in my hand that I've used in the past, and they don't compare to what the AerCrypt is. But if you're talking about like video gaming systems, kind of like various Nintendo kind of devices,
Right.
they kind of have a run of, a few years, right? Before like maybe the next generation comes out.
Hmm.
What do you look for with AerCrypt? Is it something that you want to constantly update for a very long time, or do you see like a specific window of how long the first version of AirCrypt will exist before kind of moving on to a new design?
That's a good question. I'm not sure exactly, but as far as changing the hardware goes, is unless some other new fancy like um, chip that I'm using for like the main processors or so really comes out,
Yeah.
I don't see it changing much in the next couple of years, other than just like maybe like adding or fixing up some features in the hardware to really make a new revision. But I don't think much of it would really change.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. The reason why I ask is because the amount that you charged for the crowdfunding campaign was $200. And
Mhm.
if you really think about everything that you're getting, if you just look at the price of a Ledger wallet, like,
Right. Yeah.
but you're getting like way
So,
more than that. You're getting like you said, like a screen where you can play games. You're getting speakers. You're getting USB connections. Like you're getting microphone, camera, right?
yeah, there's a camera on it. The idea behind the camera was to read QR codes.
Ah,
So we wanted a camera rather than having to type in an address on the keypad or the keyboard. You just scan a QR code with the camera and it'd be able to import the keys or so from it,
that's
or the
super.
address from it.
That's really smart. That's really smart. So, do you see kind of? I mean, obviously PS5 and whatever the latest Xbox is, like they're not going anywhere. They're going to continue to come out with new devices. But
Right.
do you see kind of like a growing expansion of kind of blockchain games that exist where maybe you just hand your kid in the back seat like an AirCrypt, and you're like, here, just play with this while we're on our road trip to your grandmother's house, like, and it just becomes more blockchain focused in that way, or is
I'm
there?
not too sure. I don't even want to give your kids your NFTs to play with and go and
Yeah,
trade on the market or so.
I
But maybe
guess
if it
that's
was
true.
maybe if it was like a pyro pet or something like that, they can go and like play some like mini game with it that really has no effect on the outcome
Yeah,
on the chain or so.
right,
Or
right.
they just use the avatar or so.
Yeah. I guess I'm just thinking like, because you can introduce like, because it also has Wi-Fi, right? Like
Right.
you,
Oh yeah, it has Wi-Fi, so you be able to get internet connectivity.
yeah.
On top of that, it'll have this sort of open source like this thing called LoRa. I
Hmm.
forget what it stands for, but it's like it's long range, low bandwidth like data transmission protocol that can be able to receive basically text messages over, but you can reach the internet through, or you can reach the internet through using.
Right.
It's hard to explain it really.
No, I think I've heard of what you're talking about, and I think it's incredible. I have no idea how it works, but it
There's a,
blows my
actually
mind.
there's a yeah there's a system or something that was coming out. I think it's called Helium. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
actually they just did a crowdfunding and raised something like $100 million, something of such. But pretty much the AerCrypt would be able to support the same software as well. But they're using a similar like hardware backend, which is the LoRa. That's basically how it works. Is it just sets up a mesh network?
Hmm. Very cool, very exciting.
Hmm.
And like I said, just talking with you whenever I get the chance to talk to you, which is, pretty frequently, I'm grateful that you are a person that, helps and works with the metrics team, because you're definitely way more smart and capable than someone like me. So I really, unless you want to say anything else about the AerCrypt, maybe we can leave it at that, and I can bring you back maybe after the AerCrypt is released, and we can talk about how the launch went.
Sure, that would be great. I'd love to come back. As far as anything else to say, I think that pretty much wraps it up.
Good. All right. Well, you did a good job, and you continue to do a good job. And I'll talk to you soon. And for any Metroids out there that want to listen to this on Spotify, you can do so. I'll leave the link down below. I'll also leave the link for AerCrypt's website down below, and also a Discord invitation. I'm sure Squid would love to see anybody new come into the Discord and talk about AerCrypt and the updates
Yeah,
on the way.
yeah. If anyone wants to chat and learn some more about it, feel free. I'm in Discord.
Awesome, awesome. Well, Squid, again, thank you so much for being with me today, and for sharing your knowledge and a little bit about AerCrypt.
You're very welcome.
All right, talk to you later, everyone.
Later.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching the Blockchain Chronicles. If you like anything that you heard today, please give the video a thumbs up. If you want to contribute to the conversation that was had between the guests, leave a comment below, and we'd love to get your thoughts. Also, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll get notified every time that we upload, which we are looking to do a couple times a week. So make sure you don't miss out. So once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the future. Bye.